everybody, and welcome back to the stream. It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's time for Functional Home Fitness, where we do weight training using objects you can find around your house. And I'm definitely, my brain is all over the place, my friends, but I hope you have had a good week. Welcome back to day 3 in the new space. Never gets old. Maybe it'll get old someday. It's not old yet. Yeah. Welcome back, my friends. I hope that you have had a good week. I have had a very good week, but I am also exhausted. You know how like your adrenaline can take you through a lot of things, and you can be like really moving through everything and feeling really good about it, and then it's like a switch flips. And your brain and your body are both like, hey, we're tired. And you should probably do something about that. And I'm like, well, you're not wrong. So I am definitely going to take the rest of the evening after class is done to just sit on a couch and try not to think too much. Because it's been a long week, and it's been a great week filled with so many new beginnings and wonderful things. But it definitely has been something where my brain has been going a million miles, and using a lot of energy, which is really exciting, but also means that, you need to recharge that energy. Just like I tell you, you need to recharge your energy for working out. Look, the captain doesn't skip leg day, and we don't know if his leg days even have days in between them. So I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I'm sorry for what I said just now. But look, if it makes you feel any better, today is going to be ab day. Yeah, it's better, right? Bueller? Look, I'm excited about it. Basically, I was like, okay, I just need to do a class that makes me super happy today. And y'all know how much I love core exercises, so that's going to be our focus today. I am excited about it. I'm also like, it was definitely a day that was a little frustrating because there were some drywall people here to work on the kitchen, who the mask protocol was, and that's a little stressful to go through a day being like, well, I feel like I have to wear a mask in my own home, and then sanitize everything. He's the walking embodiment of leg day. And you can be too. We can all be the walking embodiment of leg day. I recognize that I was flexing my arms there, but it's really hard to flex your legs. That sounded weird. But I did have a callback. I think I told you all last week that I had my first audition in like 6 years. And I had a callback last night, which was also really delightful. Any of you theater folks out there know how exciting that is. Just what a absolute joy to get to do some acting again for the first time. If it makes you feel any better, I had already decided it was going to be core day before this, so it wasn't you. It was absolutely me, because I love core work. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it went really well. It was so fun. It's just really nice to remind myself that this thing that I love dearly and that I have done since I was 5 and went to school for is actually something that I'm good at. Because it can be really easy to forget that, especially when, everything else starts happening in the world. And obviously a lot has been happening in the world, so it does make you feel better. Good. I'm happy to help. But yeah, so it's been a good week, but I'm tired. I'm really tired, and I am doing my best to model the things that I always tell you to do. And number one is listen to those signals. And so I've chosen a class that I think is going to be really awesome and inspiring for me. And that's step one. But step two is definitely giving myself the rest of the evening to just relax and do and watch WandaVision and maybe play some video games. Just sit and not worry, because I need it. And if you need that too, then I want you to make sure that you're doing that for yourself as well, okay? We've got plenty of time left after class is done to relax and chill, and eat some good food or watch some good TV or write or whatever you feel like doing, whatever lets you totally relax. So keep that in mind, my friends. Always keep that in mind. So if you are new to class, hello, welcome to Functional Home Fitness. This class is a little different from the rest of the classes on the channel because this is a strength training, weight training class using not dumbbells or kettlebells, but random stuff that you can find around your house. Because not everybody feels comfortable going to a gym right now, and not everybody has weight equipment in their homes, particularly because the price of everything spiked dramatically when quarantine started because everybody was suddenly outfitting their home gyms. And so it's like, do I want to spend an exorbitant amount of money on dumbbells right now? I don't think that I do. So we have this class to remind ourselves that we can absolutely weight train using just book bags and laundry detergent. And ooh, that sounds fun. Star Wars Squadrons. It's not ever going to be my type of game, but it is gorgeous, and I hope you are having fun with that. So today's equipment is my trusty laundry detergent bottle, my trusty backpack that I've loaded with various books, including my textbook for personal training, and Blaze of Glory, which is a Star Trek The Next Generation novel, because I just moved, and so all of my childhood TNG novels have been unearthed. And there's nothing like moving to bring out nostalgia. If this is your first class, though, a couple of advisories. First one specific to this class, and the second one more in general for weight training, particularly free weight arm training. So, if you're new to this class, we are not using typical gym equipment, which means that it is more difficult for us to load ourselves accurately and deliberately. When we're in a gym, we can pick up a dumbbell that says 15 pounds and go, great, and it's ergonomically designed so that we understand where the weight is balanced. We don't necessarily have that with the equipment that we're using at home. So if this is your first time, please err on the side of caution, okay? I use a lot of bags that I can fill with books that they're just great for this type of training. But err on the side of lighter to start with, and maybe you get to the end of the set and you go, all right, that was lighter than I needed to be, and you add some more in, or maybe you get to the end of the set and go, oh yeah, that actually was kind of perfect. We just want to start out with caution, and as you get a sense of how much things weigh, not necessarily knowing the specific numbers, but at least having a sense of how it feels when you work it, if it feels too light, too heavy, just right. Start more cautiously and then work your way up. The second advisory is more for weight training in general, particularly free weight training. This is something that I wish somebody had told me a few years ago. we are not symmetrical creatures, as you are no doubt aware. You have stronger arm, weaker arm, sides that are more flexible, less flexible, etc., etc. And when we are doing free weight training, where we are holding independent weights, one in each hand, it can be really tempting to go, well, I want to strengthen up my weaker side, so I am going to load myself based on the capacity of my stronger side. Do not do this, okay? Do not do this. Do not overload your weaker side because you're trying to buff it up really quickly. Because let me tell you, not only will that not work, but it will put your weaker side in the position of having to make really unhealthy compensations just to be able to move the weight through space. It will set you up to be really in line for injury down the line. That's how I ended up with my shoulder issues. And yeah, it is not going to go the way you think. So always load yourself based on the capacity of your weaker side, not your stronger side when you're using two independent weights, because your stronger side is not going to be harmed by using a lighter weight. Your weaker side, though, stands to lose a lot if you overload it, okay? So keep that in mind. I know we all want to strengthen up that weaker side, but there are ways to do it that do not put us in line for an injury. And we like those ways because they make it easier for us to continue working out for longer. Hello, my dear. Good to see you. Yay. Is it the name of a DS9 episode? I mean, look, I love these stupid novelizations, but there were only about 2 ideas between every single author, so I'm not surprised. All right, my friends, I'd say it's time to get going. So let's do our pre-class checklist. So make sure you got your water in whatever vessel you have chosen. I have chosen my usual trusty mason jar. Oh, yeah. Yeah, test it out before class. Take a sip. And if you feel desperate to drink more, then you're probably not hydrating yourself as well as you should be. Oh no, dislodge a cat. Everybody's dislodging cat. Oh my God. Grayson's not in the room while you're training, right? Because that'll shock him. So we've got our water. We've got our comfy clothes, whatever that means to you. We've got our mat, or mat-sized space on the floor. We've got our pile of training equipment. If you use fitness wearable, not high intensity interval training today, turn it on to strength training. Yeah, otherwise we should be good. All right, all cats have been safely dislodged from the exercise zone, and I'd say we are good to go. All right, my friends, you know the drill. Where's my phone? There it is. I found it. It's okay. It's all right. We're fine. We're fine. So let's do our warm-up, my friends. Let's get ourselves ready and raring to go. Why do I have 20 million apps open on my phone? I don't need that life. Okay. Let's go. Let's do it. Let's have ourselves a good old-fashioned weight training class. But let's start with our warm-up, because that's always important. So, everybody making your way over to your mat. And we are going to start with our usual. So on your mats, on your backs, 1 foot crossed over the opposite knee. And as soon as the timer goes off, we will begin with hip rocks and bridges. Yeah, yeah. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, I am definitely feeling it. There are a lot of new things happening right now, and it is very exciting and also very exhausting. Oh, these pants are too big for me now. Dang it. Sorry, I'm just going to be over here complaining about my gear, which is totally silly because, you know, they will be perfectly good for this class, but, you know, it's one of those things where I certainly do not advocate for going out and buying new exercise equipment every 2 seconds or exercise clothing, anything like that. You know, we already consume far too many pieces of fast fashion clothing. Yeah, it's definitely a problem with exercise clothes that a lot of them feel like they don't last as long as we need them to, but they last quite long enough for our purposes. So yeah, I definitely don't advocate like going out and buying new stuff every year or every few months or anything like that. But if you have a piece of clothing or equipment that just you find that you are spending more time getting frustrated at the clothing than you are concentrating on your workouts, then it is totally fine to get rid of that piece of clothing and to choose something else. Because, you know, one thing that we don't want to do is be distracted from what we're trying to do. You know, we're trying to focus on working out, on moving our bodies, on being safe, on challenging ourselves, all that good stuff. And yeah, so you know, we want to remove the distractions as best we can. And if you are again, it's one of those things where as we build out habits and as we sort of demonstrate to ourselves that this is something that we're in it for the long haul, you know, we are here to work out, keep ourselves healthy, keep ourselves fit, and this is something that we want to be doing for a while, then we start hitting that place where it's like, okay, now I feel comfortable making the occasional equipment investment. And again, it's so important to pay attention to your finances. Don't ever feel like you have to go out and buy special equipment, special clothes. The whole purpose of this class in particular is to be like, look, we can do a really solid weight training session using nothing but stuff that I have around my house just as part of the natural course of living. Like laundry detergent bottles are great for weight training, and most of us have those kicking around. Book bags are great. As I said, you can fill them with lots of different objects, which means you can fine tune the amount of weight a lot more effectively. And almost all of us have some sort of a book bag or a tote bag or something that we can put other items in, or a giant pot. I've used a stock pot in class before. It's not one that I gravitate to because it is a little unwieldy. You have to make a few additional modifications to the exercises, but you know what? It's great. And that's the point, and it's something that I care very deeply about demonstrating, because it can feel really frustrating when we feel like we can't do something because we don't have the perfect setup. And what do we talk about? Perfect is the enemy of good, right? You know, is it more convenient to be in a gym space that is deliberately set up for weight training and that has deliberately designed weights in it? Maybe. But when we don't have that access, whether because of we're traveling, or there's a global pandemic, or we don't have the money for a gym membership right now, we can still do great things and keep ourselves fit and keep our fitness routine going using just stuff that we have around the house. If that, you know, most of the rest of my classes are bodyweight classes. Again, because in that instance, as long as you have enough space on the floor, you can do class, you know? And so it is really important to me to always, always emphasize that the only non-negotiable thing to bring to class is yourself, and and water. Water is pretty non-negotiable too, but you know, all of the other pieces of equipment are negotiable. But also, if you've been taking class with me for a while and you're feeling like, okay, this really is something that I want to do on a regular basis, and I am feeling like this part of my setup is, you know, obviously it's not blocking me, but it's frustrating me. Then, you know, if you have the funds, if you have the budget, absolutely go out and get that new pair of exercise pants, or get that pair of dumbbells or something like that. So, you know, and that way you already know that you can do all of this without all of the equipment. So you know that even if you're not able to acquire said thing, you're still good to go. You still know what to do. You still got the class. So yeah, so that's sort of something I've been thinking about a lot. And obviously I've been moving really slowly with the stream too, and with building up, you know, there is so much equipment that I could have for streaming on Twitch. And I do, you know, I do want to keep building up, and I do have plans to, you know, have a better camera setup soon, using something that I actually already had and has just been lying around my house for years because I never bothered to learn how to use it. But now's the time. Yeah. But, you know, I do want to build out that equipment, but I'm not in a rush to do it because, frankly, we are able to do all of this with just my laptop and these janky old yoga mats. And I did buy the lighting rig, the two lights, and I am very pleased that I did that. They are an important addition, particularly as we were heading into the winter time, and I was suddenly like, it's gonna be impossible to see what I'm doing if I don't have a better lighting setup. So yeah, I don't know why I got on this particular tangent. Oh, that's because I was complaining about these pants. Anyway, it's probably time for me to replace these pants, but that's fine. They've had a long and storied life, and they can afford to go to their just retirement. All right, hey-ya. Maybe I'll pick up some PVC pipe while I'm at it, so that I'm not asking you to imagine that I'm holding it in my hands. Then again, unless you happen to have some lying around, you're probably having to imagine holding it in your hands too. So we'll all imagine together. Do. Oh man, my goodness. A lot of pictures going up on the walls today, which is always super exciting. It's amazing how putting things up on the walls really does make a place immediately feel more lived in, right? And that's a really nice sensation. Be like, all right, well, there's still boxes everywhere, and I still have no idea where the charger for my speaker has gone. I'll unearth that at some point in the next 20 years, hopefully. But at least I have lovely things up on the walls right now. And I got a succulent today from a friend that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I may end up setting up on this little shelf that I have over here. So my whole sort of smaller creative writing desk setup is just out of frame over here. You sort of catch the edge of the desk in the corner of the camera right now. And there's a nice little shelf there that I think would do very well for holding a little succulent plant. I'm just, yeah, I definitely fully intend to fill the house with plants. That is something that I very much, I wanna be a plant parent, and I'm doing pretty well so far. We've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and succulent makes 5. I've got 5 plants inside right now, and I've got a herb box outside that obviously nothing's growing in it right now because, well, it's winter, but most of what's in there are perennials. So hopefully, as springtime comes around, they will start growing again, and then I can have those going ahead out there. Yeah, lots of plant plans. Maybe an orchid, because my friends who lived here beforehand had at least one orchid in a windowsill. It seemed to do pretty well. So, who knows? Maybe someday I'll just take y'all on a tour of all the different plants that end up getting scattered throughout the house. We'll see. We'll see what happens there. All right. Everybody doing well with their warm-up? We are almost to cardio. This is the big pop of cardio that we're going to get today, because of course we're weight training, which is not, at least not the way that we do these classes. It's not going to be super cardio intense, and that's fine. But yeah, nice to get that little pop in, get the cardiovascular system moving, get that heart rate going a little faster, sort of finally tie together all of the different systems that we are bringing online for this class, and just getting ready to go, getting ready to have fun. Oh man, I am definitely looking forward to it. So we're finishing up jumping jacks and now heading down to our kick throughs. All right. You know when you have like a ragged edge on a nail and you pull at it and it pulls more than you expected? I did that the other day, and now I have this really annoying, like clearly a little inflamed thing on the side of my thumb. And I'm just like, oh, I wish you would go away, because you're really annoying. So if anyone has recommendations on how I can make that go way faster, besides just letting my immune system do its thing, let me know. Because, yeah, it's kind of irritating. You know what's not irritating? Coming to the last bit of the warm-up. Yeah, how are those burpees feeling today? Getting that nice wave push-up and big victory clap up at the top, making sure that you are still not at 100%, but almost there. All right, we've got all our systems online. just finish out these last few burpees and we will be good to go. All right. Woo! Let's grab some water. Okay. Yeah. Now, my problem was I ripped it off, which I usually do, and it's usually fine. But in this particular instance, tore it down a lot farther than I usually do. And yeah, it's not pleased. It'll go away, but it's just one of those things where I keep going, what the heck? Why do I, oh, that's why. Woo! Oh, I guess turning on the rest time timer. Alrighty. Everybody drinking your water? Yeah, look people, it's no good giving me this advice now. When I've gotten to the inflamed stage, it's a little too late for me to control the damn it. All right, just drink your water. All right, so we are going to do our usual setup. So we're gonna have 4 exercises, and we're gonna have 2-minute timers. So the timer will start, and we will do all of our reps in a row, and then we will use the rest of the timer. Oh man, I'm being roasted by my own chat. Then we'll use the rest of the timer to rest, to hydrate, etc., etc. So, what are those exercises, you ask? Well, we've got a new one, I'm excited to say. So, let's see here. Give me 1 second to just make sure I remember everything I plan to do. And I do. Excellent. All right. So, this first one is going to be a new one, and we're going to do 2 sides of it. So it will be 2 of the 4 exercises. So we're going to start out. This is a new core exercise. And I'm going to start out, I want a light weight, okay? Which is why I'm using a Star Trek novel. So just as with lateral raises, I do not want a huge heavy weight because I'm going to be holding the weight up sort of above my head, not letting it come down. So I need my shoulder to be able to safely control it, okay? And we're gonna hold that weight there, and then we're gonna engage our core and lift one leg, the opposite leg up, and bring that weight up to the leg, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down. All right? So we're really working one side of the abdominals here. Okay? So that's going to be exercise 1. Exercise 2 is then going to bring the obliques in on the action. Okay? I'm actually not sure why I brought the laundry detergent up today. I don't think I'm going to use it. I think it was just habit. You know, sometimes we just have habit. So for exercise number 2, we're going to have a heavier weight. And we're going to balance in a pike position and hold the weight here in front of us, and then engage the obliques to twist to the side, and then other side, and just go back and forth. Okay? So that's exercise 2. Exercise 3, we're doing this again, other side. Make sure you're not in danger of hitting a wall. So up, arm to opposite leg, and down, and up, and down, up, and down. And then exercise 4 is going to combine both arms and legs. So we're gonna have a goblet squat, basically within a press at the end. So taking my feet to at least shoulder width apart, holding that weight in front of me. You may want it to be a little lighter because we are going to be pushing it. All right, so we're not just holding it in front of us, but squat down. And then as you're standing, use that momentum to assist the press. And then bring it back down to your chest, down, and down, and down. Okay? Those are 4. Woo! Exciting. So, the first one is going to be that ab crunch first side. Then we're going to have the oblique twists. Then ab crunch second side. And then our goblet squat with a dumbbell press, essentially. So everybody head on over to your mats. And make sure you have your weight. Make sure you're getting into position because we're gonna go for 25 to 35 reps, I think, today. 20 to 35 reps, all right? So everybody is there. They're getting ready. As soon as you hear that horn, it will be time to go. So remember, you're not letting the weight go all the way to the floor when you bring it back behind your head, okay? So don't drop it all the way to the floor because that will just, trying to lift that from that position, you're already putting your shoulder at a disadvantage. So lighter weight and making sure that you are keeping it controlled and off the floor the whole time, all right? Woo! Oh man, this is gonna be a fun exercise. Oh, I'm excited. Oh, sorry. It's not true, I'm not actually sorry. It's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited about it. You know how much I love core work. We gotta support these awesome stabilizing muscles so that they can support us in turn. It's good stuff. And when you're taking your rest, don't forget to go for your water, all right? Yeah. Important to keep ourselves hydrated. It's a little easier to forget in today's class because it's less high energy, but it is still just as important, okay? So just because we're not bouncing around as much, we're not throwing ourselves against the walls as much, does not mean that I don't still want you to hydrate. All right. Knock, knock, knock tells us to get ready for our oblique twists. Yeah. So remember, you have to keep your legs off the ground the whole time. They don't necessarily have to be in a full pike position, all right? But you don't let legs or feet go back down to the ground all the way, okay? So keep that in mind. This is a core exercise, but it does require that leg activation there, because, whoo, yeah, feeling it in my quads, right? You feeling it in your quads? Because I sure am. Oh, yeah. Oh, that feels good. 2 new core exercises today. Yes. We love to see it. Oh, man. You're going to wake up tomorrow and you're just going to be like, I didn't know I had so many muscles there, but you do, and they are going to be pleased that you are helping them out like this, because man, so much that we do is aided and made better and safer by having strong, engaged core muscles. To be clear, because fat shaming and fat phobia is way too rampant in the fitness industry, having strong abdominal muscles has nothing to do with whether or not you can see like Hemsworth Marvel superhero style definition, okay? If you cannot see your abs because there's fat and skin in the way, that is totally fine. That is totally normal. That is totally beautiful. And it does not in any way detract from the awesomeness of your core, okay? And we have way too much body shaming in the world, particularly in this industry that I have chosen to be a part of, and I want to fight against that whenever I can. And I have to, each time, acknowledge my own privilege, because I am a fairly lean human being, and I fit, you know, quite nicely into the box that we associate with like healthy body type. But I am only one body type, and there is nothing inherently healthy about my body type, just as there is nothing inherently unhealthy about other body types, okay? So always remember that, because my God, are we good at making ourselves feel awful and not appreciating the absolute beauty of our bodies, no matter how they look. And we're bad at acknowledging that our bodies change throughout our lives. We already know this. Your body isn't the same as it was when you were a newborn, right? So why should your body in your 30s be the same as it was in your teens? But man, we are so good at getting down on ourselves for that. So I want you to always be clear that you are awesome and you are fit, and fuck scales, quite frankly, because they do not tell you your health, all right? And if anybody ever tries to tie your health to your weight, even if it's a medical professional, because let me tell you, they are not in any way immune to fat shaming and bad science. You tell them to go fuck themselves, all right? Fitness Friend says, fuck you to anyone out there fat shaming. Okay? All right? Cool. Glad we had this talk. Things are going in the chat. Left shoulder popping. If it doesn't hurt, it's not necessarily, I mean, like, look, our joints pop. That is something that happens. So does it feel like something is rolling, like a tendon, or does it feel like an air bubble in a joint is just popping as you move? Because the latter is super normal. The former, I would pay attention to and see if anything ends up starting to feel painful. But popping is not inherently a negative. It is definitely something that happens a lot, particularly again, as we get older. So, don't be automatically freaked out if things are popping in your body as you're moving. All right, again, you really will be able to learn the different signals and learn what is something that is your body going, hey, something feels wrong here, versus, oh, that's just, the way that our bodies start moving and engaging with the world as we get older. So, yeah, I hear this a lot where people are like, oh, something's popping, it's clearly bad. It's like, no, not automatically. Things just start popping a lot more as we get older, and that's just kind of something that happens. So, yeah, not necessarily something bad. Keep an eye on it, I would say. And if any other sensations start coming in, you know what to do. Yeah, our bodies do like to get noisy as we age. It's odd. I don't know enough anatomy to be like, here's why. And quite frankly, I don't think anybody knows enough anatomy to be like, here's why. Because the human body is a fascinating and bizarre machine. And it does so many things that we do not fully understand. And that's well before we even start thinking about the human brain and how wild and uncharted so much of that is. Like, not in the Luc Besson sense of the movie Lucy, that old myth that we only use 10% of our brains is totally a lie, but our brains are still fascinating and not fully understood yet. There is so much for us to learn and to figure out about how our brains work. So, yeah, so much to do, so much to learn. It's really exciting to be able to learn things. Oh God, the movie Lucy. See, now I'm thinking about, there we go. Wednesday was Die Hard, and today it's going to be the movie Lucy, which is just the most boring movie. It's so dull. It's so dull. It has no joie de vivre. It has incredibly boring visuals. Scarlett Johansson just looks like she's in a coma the whole time. It is not a good movie. For some reason, I was watching clips from it on YouTube the other day, and I was just like, yeah, wow, this isn't a good film. Like, I had watched it before, and I think on a first pass, I was able to sort of find the humor in how ridiculously self-important it was, but it does not stand up to a second pass, which honestly, I feel like is happening with a lot of Luc Besson films in recent years. Like, he did Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, right? Which was, like, when I watched it in theaters, I literally burst out laughing at the end of the movie and couldn't stop for about a half an hour. Like, it was so bad. It was just hilarious. But when I watched it again for a bad movie night viewing, I was like, this is, like, once the novelty factor was gone, it just became dull. And and I have a feeling it will continue to have diminishing returns on future rewatches. Yeah, Valerian, oh boy. What a weird experience. The leads had exactly zero chemistry. Like, Cara Delevingne and Danish guy whose name I can't remember did not look or feel or act attracted to each other in any way. Dane Delahane, yeah. And there was all this weird, like, gendered machoism in it too that I remember being really pissed off about. Like, it was just not good, friends. Not good. The best part about it was Ethan Hawke's cameo. It was like, wow, all right. Ethan Hawke is the best part of this movie because he is the only person being allowed to have any fun. Like, they certainly didn't let anybody else have any friggin' fun. And that was the same with the movie Lucy. I feel like nobody's allowed to have fun in Luc Besson films anymore. And it's just sad and kind of boring, in my estimation. Whew! All right, my friends. We're halfway through. And, yeah, I am feeling it. I am definitely feeling the work, which is exciting. I hope you are too. Don't forget to hydrate on your breaks. And you can stretch too. You know, you don't have to just stand around. Like, take the opportunity to do some stretches, whatever you feel would be useful. But, yeah, we are coming along. And Rihanna, like, her intro, like, dance performance was excellent. And then, just sad. Yeah. No, Amanda, that is absolutely right. And, like, it's so sad, too, because when I think of Fifth Element, which was colorful and loud and boisterous, and also seemed like everyone was having fun in it, and it's like, what happened to the fun part? You used to understand how to manage that entire formula, and now it just seems like you are just tired, and so you're making everybody in your movies tired as well. And that is just, it is really sad to see that shift over time, because I do associate him with more colorful, more vibrant films, and then it just feels like the vibrancy is hit or miss now, and the like chemistry is non-existent now. And it's like, what happened? You used to have a personality, and now watching his films gives me the same feeling. And I hate to say it because I know that everybody considers it a classic, but let me tell you, 2001: A Space Odyssey bores the ever-loving hell out of me. Again, it felt like nobody had any personality or energy. There was no color palette to speak of, and that's sort of the energy that I've gotten from these last few Besson films. So yeah, there you go. There's my blasphemous piece of movie information for you today. The one time that I watched 2001: A Space Odyssey, I fell asleep in the most uncomfortable position possible. I was in like a horseshoe shaped chair, like, so it was like really high arms that were in a semicircle, and I was sort of draped, my legs over one side, my head sort of awkwardly pushed up against the other side. It was an incredibly uncomfortable position, and I fell asleep. And I woke up again, and it felt like nothing had happened since I had fallen asleep. Yeah, that was when I said, all right, I think I'm good on this particular piece of cinema. I don't think that it and I are destined to get along particularly well. Oh, thank God. Yeah, it's one of those things that the movie project, I don't think you have, but I could absolutely see it being a movie for people who are high, who are just like, whoa, the whole time. They're just Keanu Reevesing through the whole thing. It's also the same reason why I don't rewatch the first Star Trek original cast movie, because they were trying really hard to make it 2001: A Space Odyssey, and it literally sucked all of the color out of the film. Like, again, it was like watching the movie Lucy. Nobody had any energy. Nobody seemed happy to be there. Except, like, there were a couple of brief moments where it was like, oh, there are the relationships that I've come to know and love with these characters. But most of the rest of the time, I was like, well, here we are. We're just chilling here, I guess. Whew. All right. How's everybody doing? My core is definitely feeling some fatigue, and I'm betting yours are too. So let's touch base, and let's remember that we want our form to be just as good on our fourth go around as it was on our first. So if you're feeling fatigue, I want you to check in with yourself. Be honest with yourself. How's your form holding up? And what modifications might you need to make to be able to maintain it? Maybe it means you have to drop down the number of reps that you're doing. Or maybe slow down your cadence so you're still doing the same number of reps but more slowly. Check in, okay? Because again, that's where we start. That is the foundation of everything that we're doing, is how's our form, okay? So just check in with yourself. Make sure you feel comfortable with where your form is for everything that we're doing, all right? And make sure that you are always honest with yourself about how your form is. Because, look, we are working out in our homes, in our offices, in our living rooms. We are not being watched by anyone. We do not need to impress anybody. We are here to take care of our bodies. And a big, big part of that is making sure that we are maintaining our form. All right, so check in. Make sure you still feel comfortable with your form. Oh my, oh wow. Watching every single movie that you owned at the time. Yeah, like I feel like that would be a lot easier for me now because the DVD collection is not what it once was. But in the Blockbuster era, that would have taken a good long while. How long did it take you? 2 years. I am not surprised. Terrified, but not surprised. Wow. And they were oh, see now see you're gonna have to text me what those movies are because now I'm fascinated. Or put them in chat if you feel comfortable. All right. Guess what, friends? This is our final round through. So, form. What were we just talking about? Form. Making sure that we are still holding it together, that we are, for example, still activating our core and using that contraction to generate the movement of these core exercises. All right? I'm not just lifting my leg, I am contracting my abs, and that is initiating the leg being raised up, okay? So we need to make sure we're checking in. We're still using the abdominals for the ab exercises. You know, because I've said it a lot, but I'll say it again, it is so easy with ab exercises in particular to compensate for weak abdominals by using other muscle groups and not necessarily even being aware of it, okay? So every time that you are doing a core exercise, I really want you to touch base and to be honest with yourself and just say, am I actually using my abdominals? Or am I sort of letting them free float and trying to just lift my arm up and do the exercise that way? Because I did that for ages. I was a cocky little shit. You know, I was like, well, the reason that I never feel anything after these ab exercises is because I already have super strong abs. And to be fair, I had pretty good core strength from years as a dancer, but when I started doing class here, just taking class, not even teaching it, it had been a few years since I had been dancing regularly, and so I was using it as an excuse to not examine my form and not examine any other reason why I might not be feeling my abdominals after doing an ab workout. And this past year, when I finally really hunkered down, when I started teaching these classes and really started to pay attention to my own form, was when I finally went, oh wow, it had nothing to do with your abs are too strong. It was just that you weren't actually using them. So it's something I talk about a lot because it's very common and because I've done it as well. So I know how easy it is to fall into that pattern. You know, when we're doing crunches and we're like, I hate doing crunches because my neck always feels really stiff and sore afterwards. Well, that's probably a sign that you're not actually using the core to perform the crunch. You're trying to yank your head forward and lift yourself up that way, okay? So I'll be fascinated to see how y'all feel tomorrow, because this was a lot of core. We're about to do our last run of these, and then we'll have our last run of the goblet squats with the dumbbell presses. But yeah, keep me posted on how how you all feel tomorrow after a very intensive core day. Woo! Yeah, I am really pleased with these new exercises, and I am also really expecting to feel some things. So if y'all are around for tomorrow morning's weekend kickoff, who knows, you may see me just falling over myself, barely able to stay standing because my core is so in pain. I feel dirty having watched. Oh dear. I feel like that is a rare occurrence for movies, but when it happens, it's like, oh no. I hate that I've consumed this media. Oh, fair. Yeah. Ooh, I haven't even heard of that last one, but I hate that description. Wow. Ugh. Taken in death proof. Interesting. I could see Taken. I could definitely see Taken. There's that is definitely that like, yeah. Yeah, it's a problem. Oh my goodness. All right, my friends, this is our last run through our goblet squats with the press. So, make sure you're still breathing. Exhale on the effort. So, like that. Helps to keep you pushing along, no pun intended. Check in on your core. I know it's tired, but you still want it to be engaged and participating in this particular exercise. And we're gonna let the timer run out so that people can move at their own pace. But if you're done, just grab some water and relax, and we're gonna do some stretching as soon as the timer ends. All right, so just deep breaths and get ready for some stretching. Huzzah, huzzah. Oh man, that was a solid session. Yeah, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today, which is, exciting. There are some days when you're like, I just really want to push myself right now. I really want that rush of being like, all right, how far can I go? How much intensity can I go for? As safely as possible. Always remember that, okay? I'm always going to remind you of that. But, yeah, good job, my friends. I'm sitting on my mat right now. Let's just take one arm across the chest. Stretch out that shoulder. Stretch out that tricep a little bit. And release it. Another side. Yeah. That feels good. That feels really good. Okay, let's do our quad stretch. So for the leg that's working and stretching, you want it folded with the heel on the outside of the hip, and then just pull the heel in as close to the hip as possible. Okay, your other knee can just sort of fall open like this. And I've got the foot next to the knee, but I'm not doing anything special with this leg, okay? And then we will slowly let ourselves backwards, only as far as we need to go to get a really nice intense stretch in the quads. So if that's right here, cool, stay there. If that's coming down to your elbows, cool, stay there. Or maybe that's all the way down to the ground, okay? However deeply you can get into the stretch, make sure you move slowly so that you're not accidentally activating that muscle and getting it to try to contract. We don't want it contracting, we want it to feel comfortable elongating, all right? And now we're just gonna take 4 deep breaths, and each time you inhale, just visualize the oxygen going to wherever you're feeling the most intensity of sensation. And each time you exhale, just try to sink a little more deeply into the stretch. Here we go. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And 4. All right, now carefully back up to seated. Take one hand to the knee, one hand to the ankle, and manually unfold the leg. Don't unfold the leg using its own muscles. All right, bring the other leg to meet it. Shake those knees out. Flex your feet and point and flex and point. Circle the ankles, first one direction and then the other direction. All right, and other side, my friends. Same notes in getting into the position. Remember, we're not symmetrical. So you may be able to go further down on this side, you may not be able to go as far. Be honest, all right? Don't just assume that because you were able to make it down super far on one side, that you can automatically do that on the other side, all right? Be honest with yourself. We'll take a second to get settled, to let the stretch sort of deepen and get comfy, whatever that means to you in this position. All right, and let's take those 4 deep breaths, okay? Here we go. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And 4. And slowly and carefully back up. And one hand to knee, one hand to ankle. Manually unfold the leg. Bring the other leg to meet it. And shake those knees out. Flex your feet. And point. And flex. And point. And circle the ankles in one direction. And then the other direction. Oh man, all right. My friends, what a good class. That was so fun. Oh God, Ricky Gervais, yeah. Oh no. No. No, no to all of that. Yeah. I agree with your refusal to watch that one. Yep, solid. Oh, Hi, friends. That felt wonderful. That honestly revitalized me. I'm still going to absolutely take the rest of the evening to relax and sit and let myself decompress from a wonderful but very intense week. But man, exercise is truly remarkable in the ways that it can revitalize us and can give us those new pushes of energy that we didn't necessarily have when we were coming into class. Yay! I'm glad you liked them. Yeah, I'm slowly but surely trying to build out new repertoire additions, and came across those. Was like, oh, those are fun, and there are not a ton of like. I have not previously had a ton of weighted ab exercises. So I tended to just focus on ab work in the body weight classes. So it's really nice to be able to bring core exercises into the Friday class. Yeah, believe me, I am feeling that core stuff too. Holy crow. Yeah, we're all going to be feeling that tomorrow. And you know what? Hopefully it is the feeling of victory. If it does feel like pain that is not good, listen to that. Take care of yourself. Take a break, okay? But hopefully we will all wake up with that really pleasant feeling. Ooh! Oh yes, please do. Please do. Love recommendations for other fitness instructors that we like and can throw to, yeah? So thank you. Yes, please do send that to me. All right, my friends. We have worked out hard. We have definitely used our cores a good amount. And I would say that it's time for us to enjoy the rest of our evenings. Making sure that we rehydrate ourselves, making sure that you get some food. Food is good. Making sure that you take a shower. And I mean, we didn't sweat necessarily today, but a shower still just feels good after a workout, right? I know I'm going to take a shower. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. Okay. There's one more class this week. As Amanda alluded to in chat, it is tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. We've got the weekend kickoff, which is our awesome strength and stamina focused bodyweight class. Bring yourselves, bring your cores, bring your friends. Hey, then a shower is great. Absolutely. That's another thing that pisses me off is shaming, and particularly assigned female at birth folks for sweating. Yeah, I won't go into that lecture because I'm trying to end class, but yeah, sweat is awesome, and it means that you are working hard, and that's really cool, okay? Always appreciate that you sweat. It means that your body's cooling system is also working correctly, which is also important. Okay, yeah, so come to class tomorrow. It's, a morning class, which is not when I usually teach, but it is late enough in the morning that you should be able to come without too much issue. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those handles will be in my end cards, but they're all variations on Blanche Case Fitness. My YouTube channel is where I upload all the VODs from these streams, so you never have to miss a class, even if you can't make the live cast. So definitely head over there and subscribe. If you want to help support me in making these streams, I do have a coffee account, Blanche Case Fitness. Your donations are always very much appreciated. And if you want to help me keep building this channel out, then please do give us a follow. Tell your friends, loved ones, coworkers, anybody looking for an awesome class stream. I stream 4 days a week. We have a great community here, as you can tell. We are so close to getting to a Twitch affiliate, and I really think that we're going to do it in the next month or two. If that, like, it could be faster. It could be faster. It's just, again, letting things move as they may, but we're getting really close there, my friends. So Yeah, let's keep building, let's keep growing, let's keep getting fit together, let's keep taking care of each other. And I will see you all back here tomorrow morning. Mwah. Have a great night.